Donkey Kong Country Returns Tropical Freeze is not only Nintendo's first big game of 2014, but it's also the Wii U debut of Retro Studios, who you may otherwise know as the developers of Metroid Prime, Mario Kart 7 and of course the original Donkey Kong Country Returns. This time around, DK's birthday celebrations have been regrettably shortened by a fleet of animal Vikings, the Snowmads, who've taken it on themselves to freeze Donkey Kong's home and its surrounding area. Rather than fit some draft excluders, put on some thermal underwear and settle for an early winter, the Kong set out on a journey to defeat the Vikings and restore the Kong Islands to their rightful climate. From what we've played so far, fans of the Donkey Kong Country series should feel right at home, as the basic gameplay is very much the same. Control a tag team of primates and tackle tons of levels set within several worlds while exploring every nook and cranny for an obscene amount of collectibles. Joining Donkey for this adventure is Diddy, Dixie, and for the first time, Cranky. Yes, the ape who was actually the original Donkey Kong has finally been allowed to take part in a bit of platforming action, and he seems to have stolen some moves from fellow cane user DuckTales Scrooge McDuck. By using his cane as a pogo stick, Cranky can traverse spiky platforms that other Kongs can't, and he is surprisingly sprightly for an old geezer. As per the previous game, Diddy is an expert shot with his peanut gun that stuns enemies at long range, while he is also adept at using a barrel jetpack to float across the many crevices of the Kong Islands. Meanwhile, Dixie has those freakish golden locks that could be used to briefly ascend into the air before floating down to safety. Player 1 is always DK, while any of the other Kongs can be found in barrels to assist him. It is possible for the other members of the Kong family to jump on Donkey's back and use their inane abilities to assist his platforming prowess. In this combined state, it is also possible for the Kongs to unleash a special team-up move which turns all enemies on screen into different power-ups, depending on who your partner is. In multiplayer, player 2 can choose any of the 3 sidekicks and control them independently from DK. From the very start, you'll experience quite a few deaths and even a couple of game overs, especially as it can take a while to get used to how the Kongs feel in terms of control. Levels are also quite lengthy, especially compared to the bite-sized levels of other Wii U platformers like Super Mario 3D World. Luckily, multiple checkpoints are placed liberally throughout each stage, although you aren't given that many extra lives to start with. Extra lives can also be purchased alongside a host of other power-ups from the returning Funky Kong and his shop. He also deals in a range of figurines detailing the many heroes and villains of the game. Tropical Freeze is a very attractive game indeed. Each environment is lovingly crafted and filled with an astonishing amount of detail that really makes each level unique. With levels taking place in varied locales such as dense jungles, autumnal forests and of course the odd minecart stage, there's plenty to see. Combine that with the soundtrack from ex-Rare composer David Wise and you've got a game that is very close in spirit to the classic Donkey Kong Country trilogy. Of course, to find out how good Tropical Freeze actually is, you'll need to keep an eye on GodIsAGeek.com over the next month for a full review. Until then, be sure to subscribe to the God is a Geek YouTube channel.